All right. Well, welcome, gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you to Food for the Poor. And today it is my distinct pleasure to have Barron Segar, the President and CEO of World Food Program USA, based in D.C., and Riaz Lodhi, who is the Country Director for World Food Program in El Salvador. So again, welcome. And you have an extended team here, so we're delighted to have been able to host all of you. So we're all here for a reason, and over the last probably almost 2 years, we've been developing this partnership. But Barron, maybe we can just focus a little bit on why this seems to make sense to both organizations.
Sure. Well, I think it probably a lot of people would say, why haven't you already been working together? Given our names, Food for the Poor and World Food Program, I would say it's a really exciting time when you think about the work that you do, Ed, caring for those in greatest need, particularly with those, giving them the utmost dignity. And then the UN World Food Program, the largest humanitarian organization in the world, focused on alleviating hunger, 20,000 boots on the ground in 120 different countries. And I would also add, we're aligning on school feeding, which is very, very important to us all. The World Food Program last year fed 21 million young people, our largest provider of school meals, but we can't do it alone. And we want to expand the program to countries like in El Salvador.
Yeah. And so El Salvador really is a tremendous opportunity for many organizations to come and really help. So, Riaz, maybe we can just talk about this school feeding program that El Salvador has really focused on and how the project we're about to talk about fits into that context.
Well, to start with, the school feeding program is probably the strongest social protection program El Salvador has. After WFP handed over the school feeding program to the government in 2013, WFP has been providing technical assistance to the government on need basis. So in the last few years, we have been supporting the government in improving the school meals program through monitoring systems, through improving the food basket, improve the formulas of the Biofortik drink that we and the government serve together. So there are many different ways of making sure that the children's education is supported by their good nutrition, because we have learned over the years that a good nutrition is essential for good education.
Yep, and to put it into the vernacular, full belly allows people to really concentrate on the learning process. So let's talk about this project, which obviously is the formation of the partnership for Food for the Poor and the World Food Program. So now what I really love about this program is it's focused in two areas, one on the farmers and one on the children and feeding them. So can we just learn a little bit from you, Riaz, on how those look individually and how they come together?
This is a good question. El Salvador is a country that imports 80% food, and that food is the one it's served to the school feeding program. And there's a huge margin on if we can replace some of these imported food, the locally produced food, that would add a lot of value to the overall food security in the country. And the school meals program is key in this area because there are a lot of communities around schools that can produce food that could be served in the schools. For communities, small farmers, this is a market. And for schools, it is fresh food as part of the school meals program. So it's a win-win if we support these farmers and their food gets served in the schools. It serves the whole society.
Yeah. So how many farmers are in scope here?
WFP is working with farmers, but in the partnership with the Food for the Poor, we're going to be focusing on 500 additional farmers that will be producing the food directly being utilized in the school feeding program.
Yeah, so 500 farmers is a lot of farmers. So this obviously speaks to the scale of this project. So we're excited about that. But it's the number of children who are going to be served by this. Now, I know that what we're trying to do together is additive to the existing initiatives. So can we get the context of what else is going on, and then how this program, how big a program this will be just in and of itself?
But first of all, 500 farmers is not only those farmers. 500 farmers are 500 households, and they're going to contribute not just to schools, but the local economy.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an ongoing process. But if you look at the number of children, we are looking at 60 to 80,000 additional children that Food for the Poor is going to be supporting in the school feeding program. And we see it in two ways. It's not simply supporting it once per year. This investment that Food for the Poor will be doing will be supporting 60,000 children every year for several years, because part of the investment will be going into infrastructure, which means improving the Biofortik plant, improving their food storage, which is a big impediment right now in making sure that the Biofortik drink is available when it's needed.
Yeah. So let's talk about that Biofortik drink. So it's made up of corn and sorghum, and so that's what the farmers are going to grow, and then we're going to buy that from them, and then turn it into a drink and give it back to the kids. Is that how we should all understand this project?
Absolutely. These 500 plus, many other farmers are going to be growing maize and sorghum, being part of because these two are the main ingredients of the Biofortik drink. In addition to that, the drink has many other vitamins, essential vitamins for school children. It's very important to invest in those school children, not in the form of money, but also in the form of nutritious food.
Yeah.
Because it will improve their cognitive abilities. They'll grow up into good, better income. And obviously, you can go on and on. Could be good husbands, good fathers. So it really it's not simply improving their feeding, but also making better citizens in the future.
Yeah, what it means for their long-term development and the health of the community and the society in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is a big project. I mean, the numbers we've been talking about, 60 to 80,000, is a lot of people, a lot of children, and a lot of the farmers and families, as you said. So this brings us to, no coincidence, tomorrow is World Food Day. And so our efforts here today are very much lined up with the campaign we're going to have tomorrow. World Food Day is nationally recognized, if not internationally recognized. And so the theme is from empty to plenty. So maybe we can just talk about that, Barron, and how you think about food and where we should all be thinking about its importance and availability to everybody.
Sure. I'll add to one point that Riaz made, which is homegrown school feeding. The cost to import is, costs have gone up across the board. So the greatest return on investment for any country, including El Salvador, is to make sure that you're producing your food locally, because to ship on containers and by cargo ship is extremely expensive. So
great point.
We're going to reach far more people based on this model with Food for the Poor, with homegrown school feeding. And you're right. Tomorrow, with World Food Day, is a reminder to all of us the importance of food, and it's a particularly stark reminder today, because so many people are going to wake up tomorrow and go to bed tonight with an empty plate, and we have to remember that we have a responsibility, a moral responsibility, if you will, to ensure that all people, women, men, children, have access to nutritious, healthy food. When we talk about school feeding, it certainly resonates with me. I've been to the field. I know, Ed, you have as well. And when you look at the face of a child who doesn't have access to food, I can assure you that child is not able to concentrate. That child, probably, by the way, less likely to even be in school without a school meal. And then you have all the other elements without a school meal. Kids aren't in school. They're more likely to be trafficked, doing child labor. And so, for me, my favorite moment in the field tying to World Food Day is what kids tell me when I go and I talk to them. And you ask young people, what do they dream to be? And I would tell you they dream to be just what your kids dream to be. They want to be pilots. They want to be engineers. They want to be teachers. They want to work in law enforcement. They want to be a politician. And so our goal, I know, with the World Food Program and Food for the Poor, is to make sure that every young person has a meal to go to school, to learn and achieve the utmost that they can achieve in their life, to really achieve their full potential.
Yeah. And I think the combination here that I really want everyone to sort of keep central is that this is a school feeding program, but it has all of these benefits of helping farmers and their families. But now these kids are now getting the ability to get an education, which is the key thing to really lift people out of poverty. I mean, both organizations understand that. So this is a powerful project, and we're very excited to sort of really launch this campaign tomorrow. As you can see in our press releases and our campaign materials, you'll see that we really like to think about this as so it has a multiplier effect. So for every $1 you spend, it's 4 times worth of the drinks that we've been talking about, these Biofortik drinks. So this is a very powerful multiplier to get some source of nutrition, protein into each of these school children. And so we ask everyone to really think about what you can do to make a difference in the life of these children and these farmers. And just know that the two organizations, World Food Program and Food for the Poor, are very excited about coming together as two organizations that have the same goal and really being able to lift people up out from their difficult circumstances. And we think this is a perfect opportunity for everybody to join us with their generous contributions. So maybe we can just wrap up with any final thoughts. Barron, Riaz, how should we close?
I think what I would say is, I'm really humbled to partner with Food for the Poor and also with the faith community. The faith community has a great understanding that feeding speaks to all backgrounds and that all faiths have a call to giving. And at the end of the day, the partnership is about helping people, but about impact. And as my colleague Riaz said, just think about the number of individuals that we're gonna reach. It's an exciting day. It's a very humbling day. And I would end just by saying, there are a lot of people in El Salvador, a lot of young people that are really depending on us. So we have a responsibility to get this right and to make sure that we're providing homegrown school meals and that we're training these 500 farmers to produce the maximum amount of food for the greatest benefit of children.
Excellent. Riaz.
I believe that if WFP alone working can help 10 people and Food for the Poor can help 10 people, our combined effect is not 20. Our combined effect might be 40, 50 and beyond. This is why I think this partnership is so important. And it, as you mentioned, it creates a multiplier effect because helping a farmer means the farmer's child is also being helped indirectly, and then we help them in school. So this is how we build that, multiplier effect for long-term and sustainable results.
Yeah. And I know that both organizations really focus on how do you do things at scale. We don't want to just have, a tiny operation that we're trying to actually scale intelligently to something that can have a multifold impact on the communities that we're serving. We're very excited about this work in El Salvador, and Riaz, I know, we're going to be looking forward to the various project updates you can give us on this. And I want to point out that, both organizations are committed to the monitoring and evaluation elements that we really try to make sure that when we talk about striving for impact, we know when we've had the impact. And then I think I'll just end this way. First of all, thank you to both of you. Thank you to all the colleagues that you brought and to this extraordinary opportunity for these two organizations to do some real magic together. And for those of you who are thinking about what you might be able to give to help somebody on World Food Day, think about those empty plates and what it might mean to fill that plate. So the call to action is, how many plates can you fill? Thank you, and God bless.